Court is calling 2020 CR 9647 State of Texas versus Jonathan Yost. Now parties announced for the record for the state.
Richard Getter for the state.
Are you Mr. Yost?
That was it.
All right, defense, you're requesting a bond?
Yes, Your Honor, by law, he's entitled to mine.
If you want, we can invoke the rule and just tell me.
From memory, I don't know if you're ready for me. Can I speak it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know, I told him marijuana, cocaine, and
There was a trip on.
No.
That was on July 10th, I believe.
Yes, ma'am. I'll say. And
The only thing is, I may ask one of the detectives, and I'll approach before I ask anything about that specifically,
mine had.
but I may ask, did it come back stolen? And that's it. That's it.
COVID restrictions. I was doing.
Well, that's why I was gonna approach.
And I believe that my presentation report at that time was that the individual that he had COVID and could not travel. And I believe, if the memory serves correctly, that was he had the. My position does is that, that was the case.
They pulled them over.
Those that,
There was that.
back in that time, there
Not
was
getting
a
alcohol,
restriction,
and
and you
not really
that
that.
found was spent at that point at $30,000.
All right, and defense? I'm sorry, state. You're on, throwing me off with your locations.
Much higher. Just to give a specific number, I want to offer $500,000, and I want to explain to the court why. The court has to consider in the setting of the bond, of course, Mr. Yost's connections to the city, the idea that he might be a flight risk.
I get it, and I understand. I just
I
want
want
to
to
listen
provide
to
the court with
I told them
exhibits to indicate,
documents, so I'm sure they get the okay.
both that Yost is a danger to the community, that he's a high flight risk, and that he has lied to this
I
court.
was trying to remember, so it was because I've had, I kind of said them.
Yes.
And I need to offer you a magnifying glass with this one.
No problem. Thank you.
So I
It's
mentioned
exhibit
that to them,
5.
and I'll go over that again. So one of them, we did have one.
Any objections?
Well, it's only in terms of
Another reason why
see
they
if
did
they
it.
can show the actual connection of my client in that activity. I mean,
Right.
they can make that nexus, which has to be.
So the rules of evidence don't apply in this hearing, though I will say this exhibit does have Mr. Yost's name throughout it.
Just to make sure we don't lose it.
Imagine more than one person named, this is your.
All right, objection will be overruled. What exhibit number?
This is State's Exhibit 5, Your Honor.
All right, state's exhibit number 5 is
This
admitted.
is a list of every hotel that Mr. Yost has stayed at since September of 2021. It's approximately 2 months after his FPA. But he was really concerned with COVID. He sure did a lot of traveling afterwards. And as you can see, this evidence indicates, one, that he doesn't reside in Hawaii, or at least he hasn't for a period of time, like was indicated to this court that he did. And 2, he must be able to afford a pretty high bond if he can afford all these hotel stays. And 3, I believe he is being, excuse me for being so forward, disingenuous when he represents to the court that he had an issue with COVID. He has no issue at all with traveling, it seems. And that is why I want to next draw the court's attention to
And thank you for the magnifying glass.
when you do these financial crimes, all these records are so tiny frequently, you've got to get one. Or else you'll never be able to see anything. I will say the first 3 pages are primarily what's there. After the 3rd page, you'll see a line going through them, and then it becomes duplicative after that.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Those just indicate the rewards points that he's earned at the Marriott since then. You'll remember that during COVID, we were holding Zoom hearings for Mr. Yost, and he was appearing by Zoom and representing to the court what his address would be, which would be used by the court to send him notifications of those hearings via certified mail. I just want to remind the court, and this is also listed in my 404 motion, that at that time, Mr. Yost indicated to the court that he lived in Hawaii. He gave the court an address that I will proffer to you was not an address that he lived at. The Secret Service actually went to that address, and there was no apartment number by the number he gave. I believe the address he gave you was 411 Harbor Lane. And in fact, that's still the address that's listed in his paperwork. So he was dishonest with the court about his location, is what I'm asserting in this hearing back then. I also want to offer, for the court's understanding, State's Exhibit 2, This is an offense report from the Hawaii Attorney General's office indicating an investigation being done by Mr. Host where he defrauded a numerous people in what I think was popularly called at that time, either the ocean rescue scam or the Baywatch scam. I get them mixed up. But the Attorney General's office appears to have some interest in Mr. Yost, or at least it will in the future.
What I'm saying, Judge, my suggestion that if he's a person of interest for the Baywatch camp, whatever that is, I've watched Baywatch in the past.
Well, I see in this document, ABC is mentioned, the ABC channel.
Okay, so in my position on that, Judge, is that just being a person of interest, it's not like he been convicted of something.
All right, so State's Exhibit number 2 will be accepted for this hearing.
Yes, just for the purposes of this hearing. And this occurred in May and June of 2020. So he would have been, I believe, on bond.
Have you had a chance to review?
These documents have been in e-discovery now for about 2 years. I also provided them to Mr. Cox yesterday.
Oh, those ones from yesterday.
All right, and so this one is the Baywatch TV series. Okay,
Or an ocean rescue, I get it mixed up.
That was cool.
well, this is one where it's alleged that your client was trying to sell the Baywatch series titled as Ocean Rescue and trying to sell a script to Lopez. I mean, your client was trying to sell a script to Netflix and or ABC and stating that the pilot had been purchased. You know,
The ultimate underlying offense there is Mr. Yost. Well, he did many things. There's actually multiple victims listed throughout the report. The Silver Sands Hotel, for example, where he stayed and then committed theft of service by not paying. The bicycle shop owner who he hired and then didn't pay. And the numerous actors, actresses, and other, I guess what you would say, people who are interested in ultimately becoming famous in and around Hollywood were asked to participate in the filming of a pilot. But ultimately what really happened is that what happens in all of these cases is that Yost just flees with the money. So it's kind of a long and sordid story. And unfortunately, that's only one of a few exhibits I'm going to hand you that have happened nationwide concerning Mr. Yost.
all right.
And I think Judge Bob, there's a lot of conjecture. There's a lot of assumption, that you have to make that, well, this is the same person. He's identified as the same person. Even when you talk about, you have somebody that may have purchased a room at a certain location. That's not even to say that he was the person that even occupied the room.
Well, I can offer State's Exhibit 6, which is a collection of news stories that have Yost's face on it, where he's also implicated in these stories that I'm providing supporting documentation for.
And for that, with today's technology, hey,
AI.
you can put me at the on Olympics or at Sphinx in Egypt. I'm there, big people imposed. So that, Judge, is that we're talking about a copy of a copy of a copy, Judge.
I believe that's a scam from North Carolina or South Carolina where a church was defrauded. I've spoken to the detective in that case.
All right, so
And that, to be fair, that happened before he was on bond for this case.
thank you. So State's Exhibit number 6 is admitted.
I also want to offer, gosh, can I just offer them all?
Yes, sure.
Okay. I'm going to offer State's Exhibit 3, which is a copy of the LAPD incident report that ultimately led to his arrest from which he was extradited from Los Angeles to here. I'm going to offer State's Exhibit 4. This is the Long Beach Police Department arrest report from when he was arrested. So the charge, he came on the radar in Los Angeles. He was ultimately arrested in Long Beach. I'm going to offer State's Exhibit 7. This is a report from the San Diego Police Department where he's alleged to have defrauded a woman out of $15,000. This, I believe, happened between October and December of last year, so fairly recently. And I would like to proffer to the court that Mr. Yost, at least according to that report, should have at least that much money to pay his bond, along with other money that I'm aware he has come into in the recent months. I also want to offer, of course, State's Exhibit 1, which is the offense report for this case.
All right.
as well. Those are all of my exhibits, Your Honor.
State's exhibit 1, 3, 4, and 7 are admitted. All right. And the court will hear argument. Defense, I know you've made your argument. It's your motion. So I'll give the chance for the state to make an argument and then I'll let you close.
Your Honor, when Mr. Yost bonds out on this case, he will disappear and it will be years before he's found again. I'm certain of that. Now, he is entitled to a bond, but this court does have to consider the risks in setting his bond. Mr. Yost is a danger to this community, to the community at large in this country. And he has lied to this court consecutively I think in 2 different hearings, and he knows.
So I'm just getting.
He's simply not trustworthy, and I ask that the court set a bond to reflect his behavior and the decisions in this respect.
So I'm reading it
All
here.
right, and state, what are you asking for in the amount of bond?
$1,000.
All right, defense, what are you asking for in the amount of bond?
Okay. Lento and yet. So we just need to put a sticker. That's what a sticker on there. And then here's his report.
All right, the court is going to order a full GPS. The court will waive fees.
Short,
The court will set your bond at 600,000.
short.
Ms. Ferguson, I need a jury trial date for Mr. Yost as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I mean,
600,000. I just want to be sure for correct.
600, comma, 00,
We have,
Yeah, those
we
right here.
have 3 out-of-state witnesses for punishment.
And then,
Well, the rest of them.
is there anything else I'm missing?
Counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. It's got a light on it.
Oh, I like that. It has a light.
about mine.
And if you all will talk with Ms. Ferguson about a jury trial setting, and Ms. Ferguson, if you'll give Mr. Yost a reset form, so he'll know when to be there.
Yeah. Just maybe about that.
All right, and Ms. Efron, with regards, have you finished with the paperwork?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm so sorry.
no, we're gonna take this up, then we bring, is the jury?
Let's get the facts straight. She loves a verbal ashtray. Never blowing smoke when she gets pissed. She's quick to castrate. Love her on a good day, love her on a bad day. Either way, she's here to stay. Call up, holy,